Can you gain muscle in a calorie deficit?
No.
No, it's impossible. You can't do it. Can't do it. Coach Greg, and here today I'm going to be going over Jeff Nippard's new video. It's titled, How to Build Muscle and Lose Fat at the Same Time, Step by Step, Explain Body Recomposition. So as you know, I'm a big believer in building muscle and losing fat at the same time. Good to see that Jeff Nippard agrees, unlike so many people in the fitness industry that just don't get it. Like, I don't understand how there's so many talented physiques that just don't have the intellectual capacity to understand the simple stuff. Breon Ansley, two-time Mr. Olympia Classic Physique champion. A couple days ago, everyone's sending me video, Greg, Breon, they asked him.
Can you gain muscle in a calorie deficit?
No.
No, it's impossible. You can't do it. Can't do it. And so Breon has about 17,000 times a better physique than me. So guess what? People watch him say you can't, and then they agree with him. Why? Because he has a better body than me. You judge somebody's intellect based on how they look. It's so stupid. It would be like saying, oh, Greg must know more than Jeff because I have a bigger bench press or I have more muscle. That is stupid. If Jeff was 120 pounds, doesn't mean he doesn't know a lot of stuff about fitness. So I'm going to go over his video. See, it's 10 minutes long, so it shouldn't take too long. And I'm going to see if I agree or disagree and maybe add things. And hopefully you can all learn from this because this is for educational purposes. I want you to learn. Obviously, Jeff Nippard has a huge following. He's close to 2 million followers. People love him. I like Jeff's videos. I agree with almost everything he says. So I'm going to go and critique and see if maybe I can add to what he says or take away from and see what I think. He presents a study and it shows you overfeed people by 600 calories, which is a large surplus. What happens? They gain 3 times as much fat. Makes sense, you're eating way more. Guess how much more muscle they added? None. Well, they actually gained about 0.5% more, but it wasn't statistically significant enough to report that it made a difference. So what that research shows is if you start bulking and eat a whole lot of food, it makes you a whole lot of fat. It doesn't make you a whole lot of muscle. So why are you going to go in this huge surplus? And that was only 600. Imagine it was 1,600. Just going to be even more fat. So all bulking does, force-feeding calories, is makes you get fatter faster. Who wants to get fatter faster? Not me. Now, Jeff does say there's time for cutting and bulking. I agree. If you're a powerlifting strongman and you're trying to get as strong as you can, as big as you can, you need the big surplus. Yes. Not against bulking and cutting. It's for the right reason. I'm just over 5% body fat right now. I'm not in a very good place to add muscle. So if I was to try to build muscle, I certainly wouldn't want to just keep dieting. It would benefit me to eat more. But if I'm already at 12, 15% body fat, or if I'm already obese, like say 20+%, why are you adding calories? You can take them away. And he made another video, and I made a video, and you can absolutely build muscle in a deficit. So, point is, extra food equals extra fat, not extra muscle. Okay, he then breaks down when body recompositioning, when basically building muscle in a deficit works. And it works almost for everyone in almost every situation. I'm just going to go over what he says here. New lifters. Yeah, you just join the gym, easy to gain muscle. You can diet and gain muscle. And that includes if you've been lifting, but you lift like a pussy. Because if you lift like a pussy and you start training hard, you can absolutely gain more muscle, right? So you're not training effectively here. If you're overweight or obese, you already got a ton of calories. You can go on a diet and the fat can give you energy to build the muscle. Detrain. So, say you took time off or you got injured, you can get back to the gym, build muscle. Steroids. You're natty and you've been training 10 years and you add in some freaking SARMs. Whatever, obviously you're going to gain more muscle. Easy. The sub-optimized trainees, Okay, so they're just training and they're not training properly. They go in there and they do it wrong. They take 3 days on, 1 day off. Maybe they're doing sets of 50 instead of 10 or 12 or 50, whatever. So lots of times, most people can build muscle in deficit. Who can't? The rare guy, like me. I'm the one that needs to not be in a deficit to build muscle. 34 years of training, already on steroids, already maximized my natural potential, already train effectively, already know what I'm doing. I'm the one that needs to eat, guys, and I'm on a diet doing a show. So most of you who are like less experienced than me, which I mean, I'm 44, been training since 10. Most of you are less experienced than me. You're going to be able to build in the deficit, okay? Okay, gets into how to achieve body recomposition. Okay, first thing, recognize training is the driving force. So he basically says you need to train properly, effectively, the right amount of volume, the right amount of intensity, that kind of stuff, okay? You can't just eat 19 million calories a day and 65,000 grams of protein and take steroids and not train and expect to gain the right results, okay? So that is important. The training has to be proper. The second thing, number 2, decide on your primary goal. Are you trying to build muscle or lose fat? Now, you can try to do both, but usually there's going to be one that's more important than the other. So if you're, say, already ripped, like me, I might want to get a bit leaner, but my focus should probably be on getting more muscle when you're already this lean. I mean, unless you have a photo shoot set right up. If you're already obese, then is adding more muscle that important? Unless you're a strongman powerlifter. I mean, typically you're going to probably try to get a bit leaner. So you might want to emphasize that a bit more. Maybe you're going to do your cardio and things like that a bit extra than just purely worrying about, packing on muscle if you're already obese. And I like the fact that he points out what lean is. 8 to 12% is lean for a man. That's what I refer to as Olympic level athlete conditioning, 8 to 12%. That is lean. That's like full on, everyone would like to look like that. I mean, there's a few guys out there that are leaner, that natural, whatever, good genetics. Females, 18 to 22%. That's where I literally, the exact same numbers, so we must have read some study the same. I mean, I learned this 25 years ago, and he's probably only 25. But anyway, 18 to 20%, 22%, that's female. That's to be considered like super athlete. If you're lean as a girl, 18 to 22%. So shut up about being 8% as a girl. You're not. You are not. Drives me up the wall when girls start quoting percents that are the same as men. As you can see, it's about 10% difference here from a man to a woman. So, I mean, if you're a guy and you say you're 20%, if you were a girl, you'd probably be 30. If you're a guy and you're 10, if you were a woman, you'd probably be 20. So a girl who says, man, I'm 15%, you're shredded. You're ripped. You're almost in show shape. Okay, so if your goal is to build muscle, he says, if you can figure out your maintenance calories, which is pretty much impossible, but if you did and could, you had about 5 to 25% of that. So say your average is 2,000, 5 to 25% would be like 100 calories, maybe up to 500 more. Obviously, as he showed in an earlier study, 600 calories just made you a lot more fat. So my opinion, he's saying to add 5 to 25%, that's too much. Should be like 5 to 10%. You do not need more than a 10% surplus on calories from your maintenance to gain maximum muscle. So as a man, if you're eating 3,000 calories a day, add 10%. 3,300. There's plenty. 300 extra calories a day. And really, no one can figure out how much you're eating that accurately. No one knows their metabolism that accurately. So go by the scale is what I would add to this. If you're trying to add muscle, the scale should go up each week, but not much. If it goes up by more than a pound, you're probably eating too much. Simple as that. Opposite, if you're losing weight, if you're losing more than, say, 1% of your body weight in a week, other than the first week, probably losing too quickly. He then gets into if you're skinny fat. I hate that term. Skinny fat just means you're skinny as in you don't have a lot of muscle, but you're fat as in you're obese. Skinny fat just means you're obese without a lot of muscle. What's the opposite of skinny fat? I guess huge, ripped. Then you have everyone in between. I mean, if you have a lot of muscle and you're fat, you're big and fat. If you have no muscle and you're fat, you're skinny and fat. It doesn't mean you need to diet a certain way or train different. So he has phase 1, you should go on a diet. Phase 2, maintenance. Phase 3, add in surplus. I disagree with that. If you're skinny fat, if you're any fat, it doesn't matter what you are or not. You should slowly lose the fat and try to build muscle at the same time, just like everybody else. You're not special just because you're skinny fat. Skinny fat, add some muscle, lose some fat. Same time, small deficit, slowly lose fat to get to where you want to be. Say you're 30% and you want to get to, 20. Slowly lose that fat and slowly build that muscle. And he gets into your protein intake requirements, macros, and it's, if you're really lean, 1.6 grams per pound of body weight. If you're fatter, 1.2 grams. I think it's just overcomplicating things. 1 gram per pound of body weight, more if you want. If you get that much, you're doing good. If you get less than that, you're still doing good. Literally, this research doesn't support that you need a shit ton of friggin' protein. 1 gram per pound is enough. It's plenty. It's double, if not more, than most people would need to eat. So, doesn't matter if you're skinny, fat, muscular, obese, scrawny, gaining. If you get 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight, you're covered. You can eat plenty more if you want, but you don't have to. Okay, so that's my big recommendation there. I'm disagreeing with him a little bit on that one.
2 grams per pound lean body mass. Using myself as an example, I currently weigh 165 pounds at about 10% body fat. Using our sliding model,
Jeff, you are not, as in 0% chance that you are 10% body fat. There is no possible way on this planet that he is 10% body fat. How do I know? Because what that means is to get to 5% body fat, he would only have to lose 5% of his body weight, and he weighs 163 pounds. That means he'd have to lose 8 pounds of fat. If he was 163 and lost 8 pounds of fat, that would put him at 155. Do you think that if Jeff lost 8 pounds of fat, he'd be leaner than me right now? There is no way in hell. 8 pounds of fat, 5%. 5%. On a hard diet, he could do it in 5 weeks. Do you think Jeff could be stage ready, shredded, on stage, pro bodybuilder, shredded, more shredded than Regan Grimes in 5 weeks? No, he's not 10%. He's closer to 15. I don't know where he gets 10%. Maybe he did a DEXA scan, which is not accurate anyway. I'm not putting him down. He's still lean. He's still under 15% probably. 14% I'd give him. But there's no way that's 10%, people. I mean, when you see what 10% is, it is friggin' lean. 5% is mind-numbing. 4% is like, who is 4%? 3% is you're dead because you're too ripped, okay? So I 100% disagree with him on his level of body fat. I don't care if he did it with a bod test, a freaking DEXA scan, whatever. I can visually look and say there's no possible way that he's 10% body fat. No. He then gets into why it's good to have a high protein diet, which it is. It's awesome on dieting. I eat more protein than 1 gram per pound of body weight, not to build muscle, but because I like it and it makes me not as hungry. So more protein, recomping is good. That means dieting. High protein is good. Why? Satiation. It's more filling to eat chicken, for example, than rice cakes or rice, okay? Thermic effect. The thermic effect of food is greater for protein. What that means is it takes more calories and energy from the body to convert a chicken breast into body fat than butter and peanut butter and fat into fat on the body. Fat is almost fat. It doesn't take a lot of work. My estimation, about 3% of the energy to convert fat to fat. Protein, probably up to 30%. So if you eat 1,000 calories of protein, the net end result is a lot of it is going to be burnt off. As in, it doesn't mean the laws of thermodynamics don't apply. It just means that it takes energy to digest that. So like your body is burning calories just chopping up the chicken. Just think of it inside your body. There's a bunch of robots going chop, 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 chicken, chop, 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 chop. And it chops it up and then it converts it into body fat. It takes a lot of work. If it's already fat, Doesn't take any work. It's already fat. Body's like, chop, what? We're not doing nothing. It's already fat. Okay? That's how I'm breaking it down for you. Cost benefit, it says, like, yeah. People say, oh, kidneys are going to protein in kidneys. No. It's not going to kill you unless you have some kind of genetic friggin' screw up, okay? Baby Naked came for an appearance. Okay, so no worries there. So he says, take 20% of the calories as fat and carbs the rest. I don't count macros. There is absolutely nothing wrong with what he just suggested at all. I basically just don't count macros because there's no possible way I'm not eating enough protein. Not possible. Then I try to get in some healthy fats. I don't count the grams, just try to eat some salmon or whatever, some avocados, whatever. And then carbs just fills up the rest. If you're dieting, eat low-calorie dense foods. So don't eat rice, cakes, and rice. More so try to eat vegetables and fruit. Forget the fructose, it's not going to kill you. He says pay attention to the details. Like the more advanced you are, the more you have to do everything right to make gains. When you're just an average newbie, it's easy to make gains. You go and frig around and you make gains. Sleep, one of the most underrated things. You need sleep. You need good sleep. Even if you sleep good, it's beneficial to add some kind of a sleep aid, some melatonin, whatever one you want, okay? Sleep is important. Studies have shown if you don't get proper sleep, you don't burn as much fat, it's not as good for you, you don't recover as well. So sleep, make sure you get your sleep. And then he gets into like pre-workout meals, and I'm not gonna make this video too long. Yeah, eat properly. Then he gets into supplements. Obviously, if you're taking super supplements, it's gonna help. Over-the-counter supplements, there are some that help. Certainly, creatine's gonna help for sure. It's been studied forever, been used for years. I even used creatine over 20 years ago. Caffeine, proven to burn fat, add endurance, and increase NEAT, all these things. Take the supplements. Supplements do help, but there's no magic supplement that's over the counter. It's just you just take it. You don't train, you like burn fat and build muscle. It's not magic, okay? But supplements will help. However, you still got to put in the work. And to sum it up, he's got a book. So visit his website, watch his video, and buy his plan and learn. I'm just doing a quick summary of this stuff. He's got a detailed plan for you, so you can buy that from him. Go visit his site, have a peek. As I'm watching this, there's 330,000 people that have watched this. It's got to be good stuff. Come on now. I mean, he obviously put a lot of time and effort and dedication to this. It looks like a good plan. I agree with pretty much every single thing he said. No one agrees on everything. So I think you should check it out. If you're interested, view it and maybe have a purchase. I'm going to wrap it up here. You want to watch some other videos? Maybe one of Jeff. I've done a few Jeff videos in my time. There's one right there of Jeff. Check that one out. If you're not interested in Jeff, check this thing out. That might be interesting to you. Okay? Don't forget to click the like, subscribe, bell, swoosh. You're notified. Leave a comment, like, dislike it, all that good stuff. GregDoucette.com, website, Greg Doucette IFBB Pro, Instagram, and I am out.